This program contains graphic descriptions of sex and violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're officially in ownership of someone else. You're a product, you're cattle.
I literally had to essentially turn tricks to get my money back.
Drugs and alcohol became part of the picture at a very young age, 7, 8, 9 years old.
That whole time was a blur. Being drugged, beat, raped repeatedly.
This is horrible. I hate this. This is not me, but I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get out.
I don't know that I necessarily processed anything beyond surviving.
If anybody could take anything away from my story is it could happen to anybody.
Secura, Laura, and Rachel are sex trafficking survivors. 3 of likely hundreds, if not thousands, of Nebraskans, mostly women, who are sold for sex each year. It's different than prostitution because trafficking isn't voluntary. Here are their stories.
Currently, I am a crime victim advocate here at the Sarpy County Attorney's Office. We keep them informed of what their rights are as a victim or witness, but also where the case is going, what the movement is.
Secura knows what it's like to be a crime victim. She says her first rape came as a 6th grader behind a bowling alley. Many more followed in high school and college. Bad relationships and alcoholism were the norm. Then a job transfer took her to Kansas, where she met a guy she thought was perfect.
We go on our first date, and we go to like a little concert in Lawrence. Then we go back, we sit in a park, and we're swinging and having a good time. Then we go for a walk in the neighborhood. I mean, to me, that's like the perfect date. And the next day, he's at my house, and he's moving in. And, you know, it was so weird because, again, I'm 2.5 hours away from anybody I know. So this is all new to me. From there, he controlled everything I did, made sure that he knew where I was at all times. I could not move in that town without him knowing exactly where I was. We started frequenting the strip clubs. There were 2 of them in Topeka at the time, and we went to the one quite frequently and would spend like entire paychecks there. And buying lap dances from the dancers, and he'd talk them into doing some extra things while they were dancing. Going to those, I don't know what they're called, like sex shops. And I can remember going in the back of one in particular, and they had these booths in a row where you could rent videos and watch it in there and do what you do. But they had big windows so people could see in there. And I can remember we had to have sex in there and allow other people to watch. And again, while this is all going on, I'm thinking, this is horrible. I hate this. This is not me, but I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get out. So you have to go with it. Because standing up to it, saying no, that just gets you beat.
This probably isn't what you think of when you think sex trafficking. Secura realized later that's what it was. A crime defined by force, fraud, or coercion.
I would put my check in, he would take the money out. And then the only way I could get my money back to pay for rent was we'd go to these sex shops, these strip clubs. We did the swingers thing. We called those 800 numbers or whatever those numbers are for phone sex. We were doing all of these things. And I didn't have a choice in this. It's like you do it or you get beat. So you've got your force, you've got your fraud, you've got your coercion. And And then, of course, the interstate, because it was between Topeka and Independence, Missouri on Interstate 70. Again, at that time, I'm not thinking this is trafficking and this is really horrible. I'm just thinking, well, this really kind of stinks, and but I'll get through it. And but yeah, I literally had to essentially turn tricks to get my money back. The thought of leaving my job, something I felt I had worked so hard to prove to myself and to others that I can do this. And everything that I had worked for. And it's so difficult to walk away from that. And I felt like I'm stuck.